What is up, fellow brawlers? It is your host Galadon, and yes, it's another installment in the free-to-play account of Galadon. I know last episode we talked about Nita being one of the strongest, best brawlers to play as a new player. Well, I'll tell you who is one of the worst, okay? At least for me. Well, I'll show you in a second because, well, first of all, this is probably, again, the luckiest free-to-play account around, okay? Let me know, if you have gotten luckier than I have, then you should be buying lottery tickets or something right now if you're old enough, because this account, it seems like every time I turn my back, I'm opening another brawl box and picking up another rare or super rare. That's right, second of 3 already, Ricochet, and I gotta tell you, for a brand new player, I feel like Ricochet is probably one of the, I shouldn't use the term worst, more like hardest brawlers to play, because his skill cap is super high. And what I mean by that is he is a high risk, high reward character in that, yes, you can do a massive amount of damage. You can wipe out other players with Ricochet, but he's not easy just to pick up and play. You don't just pick up Ricochet and start annihilating the other team. You have to get adjusted to his style of play, and it is completely unique. He's kind of like a Mortis or a Frank in that it's not quite like any other brawler. You've got brawlers that are shooters like Brock and Piper and Colt. You've got your throwers like Dynamite and Barley, but Ricochet, again, is very unique. And I'm just saying, he's not easy to play. Now, I have been playing him some on the gemmed account where he is maxed out, but this is the first attempt at playing him on the free-to-play account. And this was done in a live stream, and yes, I will tell you that I'm not showing the fails. There were some failed games where I didn't do so well. Again, this is with random teammates, which I always warn you makes life way more difficult. But I gotta tell you, Ricochet is fun. When you can land the shots, and now, of course, you don't have to knock the shots off of walls. You don't need to do that, because right there, as you can see, direct shots do a great deal of damage as well. It's the Ricochet that causes the shot to go further, not to do more damage, so it's sometimes just a matter of treating him like a normal shooter, but I feel like you're not using him to his full potential unless you are also taking into account the angles, and that is where, well, hey, like I always said, stay in school. Geometry pays off eventually. Now, right there, I took out basically the entire team with just direct shots. So again, Barley is great as a straight shooter, but also works even better when you can use the walls, the barricades to your advantage and reach out and touch somebody when they might not be expecting it. They think that they're safe behind a wall, but they're not, because your Ricochet bounced one off a wall and caught them in the back. Right there, just about the quickest game ever of gem grab and making it look easy, but like I said, not every game goes nearly this well. So actually, if you really think about it, is he the hardest brawler to learn? Definitely not, but I think that to take him to his true ability, then it's going to take a lot more practice, and you can't just treat him as a straight shooter. Now, I will also tell you that Bounty is not one of my favorite game modes. I especially have struggled with this early on, and I prefer to stick to gem grab. Again, playing with randoms, not the best thing to do, especially in a game where you're really counting on your teammates to come up with kills and not die, okay? In Bounty, of course, not dying just as important as taking out the opposing team members. And to be honest, just like on my gemmed account, this is one of the brawlers that I have not been that excited to play. Now, everybody wants Leon or Spike and wants to unlock Crow and try out those legendary brawlers. These are some of the brawlers that I feel like, especially being a typical or relatively typical new player, I'm not that excited to play. Mortis, Frank, okay, here's the thing. Frank may seem amazing. He's actually a lot more difficult than you might think to learn. And Ricochet. I feel like, yes, you can pick him up and play him, but no, if you really want to use him to his ability, you need a lot of practice, and you need to have that ability to look ahead, kind of like a chess match, predict where your opponent is going next, and also to pick out those common hiding spots. I think that familiarity with the maps goes a long way with Ricochet, because eventually you'll just know, hey, I can sit behind this wall and shoot that wall, and it's going to get the opponent in this third place. And that's the sort of game knowledge that is really going to pay off. And also, I'm sure there are some amazing episodes out there right now from some content creators that have already covered this subject. You know, best hiding spots, best angle spots for Ricochet. Absolutely. But again, we have to remember, this is a free-to-play account. This is a super rare brawler, so it's not likely that a lot of brand new players are going to unlock Ricochet early in their careers. So, looking back at these games, it makes me reconsider what I thought would initially be like the title of this episode, you know, the hardest or the worst brawler to play with. No, I really don't think so. Actually, Ricochet is easy to pick up and play, but like anything else, he's difficult to master. I think that there's a long ways you can go with him, and you can also miss completely with your super like I just did. But we are finishing this game with 7 stars over my head and not dying and losing those 7 stars. And that was critical because you could see we ended at 27-23. And, oh, hey, all right. Galadon picks up star player. Not bad. I won't complain about that. But yes, so having a lot of fun. And we're going to go ahead and take Ricochet into another game mode where you might also think that he isn't going to do well, and that is solo showdown. Now, again, this depends very much upon the map layout. This map layout probably not ideal just because it's so much about grass hiding spots. There are not a great deal of walls, and I feel like walls are what Ricochet wants. He wants to be able to hide around a wall and use that angle, take out his opponent. But nonetheless, we're going to give it a try because, you know, we're running through the brawlers just as they appear naturally, giving them each a try and trying to judge them on a non-gemmed out basis. Now, right here, watch as I get cornered by Shelly on the left and Brock on the right. And somehow, rather than teaming, which an informal team would have worked out really well there. And what I mean is maybe they didn't actually spin and say, I'm going to team with you, but they just decided to pinch off another player. That is always a great strategy. If you see a player that is cornered, definitely push hard right there. Somehow my little level 1 Ricochet takes out Brock, and that was a good feeling. I have to tell you right there, that felt really good to not die, and now we're down to the final 6. Now we go into standard Galadon hide in the bushes mode, which is, you know, I'm going to tell you again and again, this is a great strategy to increase in your trophies. You do not have to be aggressive. And right here, I just got lucky. That bull was just about down. He won a confrontation against another brawler, but had less than 100 hit points remaining and ran or supered out of the way, allowing me to pick up the power-ups. So now, the map is closing in, and you'll notice the core, the center of this map, is a bunch of walls and grass, which could work out well for a player like Ricochet, but also is tough when you're facing something like a bull or a Shelly. If there's a player that's got that really short range, high damage burst that can get close to you, it's going to end badly for you almost every time. So right here, I'm just testing the waters, or the grass, so to speak, shooting in there, trying to make sure that nobody sneaks up and hits me right in the face with a shotgun blast. Just throwing my bullets around here, and sure enough, here comes a Colt. Ideally, somebody else will deal with him. Right there, here comes the bull charging in. Now we're down to 3. It looks like I've got a shot as long as the other 2 players can face off with each other, and then I can pick up the pieces. So I'm trying to stay as far back, but look how small the remaining zone is. There's not a lot left. We've got 2 players, and finally, well, we just can't do it. Okay, so the bull, you know, like I said earlier, bull is a great unit to have hiding in the grass late, and that's exactly what happened, but that is respectable, okay? Don't expect to win every match. Second place is more than enough to pick up the star token, and of course, 7 extra trophies as we continue our way down the slow but certain trophy road of a free-to-play account. And I say slow, it is feeling a little bit slow right now. I realize that we've got a long ways to go. 3,000 trophies before we've unlocked the last trophy road brawler, and it's just not coming as quickly as I would like. At this point, yes, I'm enjoying it, and I don't know really if I'm super lucky or if this is typical, so I would love to hear from you guys. If you're playing a free-to-play account, have you unlocked rare, super rare, or legendary brawlers? Let me know in the comments. Have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more full Brawl Attack. See you tomorrow.